Hey everybody, New Leaf here. So you ponies voted, you wanted me to do Sunny's Pizza. I've never baked before unto this day, but today we're gonna make some pizza. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, look at this scene.
We just need to show the Earth ponies that magic is nothing to be afraid of. It makes Equestria a better place. And it's fun!
Yeah, you see the pizza that Sunny has, it's like mushrooms and cheese, nothing too crazy, but the thing is I'm gonna try to make the dough myself, so I just basically set this whole thing to hard difficulty. Anyway, let's go ahead and get Well, ponies, we have about 350 grams, and now comes the next ingredient. You know what it is? Let's see. It is the salt, just a small amount. Look at this. That's already enough, that's already enough. We need about 3 to 5 grams, not a lot. And now, we're gonna have to mix this, but while we mix this, you wanna put this cube of yeast into that there cup of warm water, every pony. So we can give that time to dissolve while we're mixing this, every pony. Do everything at the same time. So everything is set. We have salt in here that is mixed. This is dissolving. We're going to do this manually in a little bit, but now this cup of water is going to get introduced to this little vial. Let's do... Yeah. There we go. Gonna have to start mixing this and see what we wind up with, every pony, because the dough is like the most important part of this pizza, every pony. Hope we do Sunny proud here. Well, ponies, the dough is a tad bit too wet, so added more flour. And here we have the yeast, which is completely dissolved. We're going to introduce that into here as well. And then we're going to have to start kneading the dough, so it's important that we're going to start spreading a lot more flour than you see here on this countertop, but you get the idea. And here we go. Here's the dough. We've put everything together, and now it's just all about kneading this. We're going to try and make it like round. And here we go. Here we have a massive, massive ball of pizza dough. But if there's leftovers, I'm going to just give some to the neighbors. But we're going to put it here under a wet cloth and then just let it rest for maybe an hour or two. And then we get to go to the interesting part and actually making the pizza. So while the dough is resting, we go to the fun part of this. We're going to choose toppings, and Sunny had mushrooms, a lot of cheese, but also I want to make a second half that is a little bit different. I have some basil here, and we have an onion over here, and this is some tuna. We're going to put this onto a second half, so let's see how this goes together, every pony. But most important is right now is that we get all these ingredients prepped. So I want the cheese shredded in that. This onion needs to get sliced, and same thing for these mushrooms here, so let's get cracking. Here's the pizza sauce I used. I mixed it together with some ingredients, mainly with the goal to stick to Sunny's color. But also, if you want to know the recipe to this, I'm probably going to make another video. You can use this for a lot of things, I imagine. So our cheeses, we have Parmigiano Reggiano. We're going to use half of this now, but the other half is going to be made into a video that we have to make for a certain convention. And if you paid attention, you know which one. And this is some mountain cheese. We're going to shred this and put this into the bowl first thing. So we've grated the small one, and the Parmigiano Reggiano is in there. Yeah, you're good in there as well. Well, ponies, my oven is preheating, and that is because everything up here is ready. The mushrooms, the onions. We have basil that I still need to unpack. We have tuna, we have the sauce, we have the shredded cheese, we have the olive oil. All we have to do now is wait for the dough, and then we're ready to go to the baking step. And we have a bunch of flour. The dough has risen, and we're about to put this out in every pony. Of course, we're not going to use all of this today, but we can save some of it and eat it another time for other pizzas, ponies, and share it with neighbors, like I said. Let's get this out, split it up, and then see how we can make this pizza round. That's going to be a tricky one, but I have an idea. So this is how much I used. There is like still a whole bunch in the bowl, but this is what we're going to try and make into our first little pizza on camera. And we're going to like make this round. We're going to make it thin, so we're going to have to use our hooves and make it this super, super thin like the Italians do. Let's see if we can make it work. Well, ponies, look at this. It's kind of round. It was a little difficult to do because it needed a few more bits from over here, but we're going to start putting in things in order. We're going to start with the olive oil and then the sauce and the cheese because that goes everywhere, and then we're going to like split it in half. We're also gonna have to, put some baking powder. Yeah, we're gonna put some baking paper into the oven, and that's where we're gonna have the pizza on it. I don't think it needs to stay in there for that long, but we're gonna find out about that in due time. So the olive oil is in, and the tomato sauce and the cheese go next. This is not the roundest pizza by any means, but considering I'm doing this for the first time, this isn't as bad as I expected it was gonna be. But we still don't have a complete pizza yet. This is a long and windy process. Well, the cheese has made it onto the pizza, and this means we can now do the mushrooms and all the other toppings. Alright, let's get to it. That mainly involves these things over here. So, ponies, we have tuna, we have onion on the right, and we have the mushrooms on the left, but we don't have the leaves yet, and we gotta, leaves are kind of important. Look at this, basil leaves. We need to put those on there. Alright, ponies, I think we're about ready. Let's get this into the oven. Hopefully this actually tastes good. Oh, I'm afraid. This time for realsies. Ponies, at the beginning I thought I had too much dough. That extra dough is giving me a second chance here. Alright, ponies. I did it a second time, and this does look pretty interesting. Let's see how this tastes. On the left side, we have the sunny one with the mushrooms, and on the right side you have my combo with mushrooms, basil, and onion. So let's start with the sunny version and see how this is. Oh boy. This actually did turn out kind of well. Oh, I like this, ponies. One thing I learned is to maybe put a little bit more sauce, but outside of this. So one thing I do want to try as well is bite the crust so you ponies hear if it's crunchy or not. This is decisive. I don't know if you ponies could hear it, but that was actually pretty nice. A really interesting first try. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it's still pretty good. And now the next time we know to not follow that random recipe I found. Don't use as much water. And immediately put it onto this piece of paper. And you're making it. But this is ponies is curious, but which one do I like better? Let me try the sunny one again. Really difficult for me to judge. The mushrooms one is nice, but I like what I have over here with all the basil, the onions, and the tuna. Yep, I like this one. This one has a lot of pop to it, ponies. Either way, ponies, it is just me and this pizza. I have leftover dough still. Let me get that. Not sure if I can use that to make a mini version, but as it stands, I'd say this is a success, but we can definitely do a little bit more. We can put more sauce on it, but this is alright. This is a pass, and I'd say Sunny would think this is alright. This is not as yellow, of course, as in the show, but I tried to be a little authentic with it. But ponies, I hope you liked it and learned from my mistakes, and we'll see what else we cook the next time. I didn't expect us to make it this well at all, ponies. This was kind of a toughie. And here we are. I'd say not the best first attempt, but it's not as bad as it could have been. And I do have a little bit of pizza dough left that you've seen at the end. I'm probably going to make another pizza with it. And this time I know what to not do, every pony. Seriously, gotta make sure to not use too much water. But other than that, I think this was an interesting learning, and we are going to move forward and try other things, and maybe next time we're going to put some other things up for vote. Seriously, I did not think pizza was actually going to win by this much people. Y'all wanted me to do this, but we do those things. Anyway, ponies, with that, I thank all you lovely ponies so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, and remember, ponies, Beat the Alicorn is coming soon. We're already making the games, and gonna see if our contestant can actually win.